Hello, my name is Brandon, and welcome to Retro Reactions, a place where I experience amazing music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s for the very first time. And today we're going to be traveling all the way back to 1989 and 1991 to listen to The Domes of Gabal and Sploosh by Ozric Tentacles. Always excited to discover more from them. We'll start with The Domes of Gabal. Comes from Pungent Effulgent, their first studio album, which followed the many cassette-only albums they released in the 80s. Quite an evocative title. Let's see what's in store. So expansive. Wow, absolutely incredible. Proof right here that even their shorter songs are packed with amazing, unique, bizarre goodness. They painted an awesome electronic landscape right from the start. I wrote down, we're definitely not on Earth. I love the places they take us. I can't imagine how many places, they'll take me, us, in their huge discography. Every song, a different environment, I'm sure, a different vibe, I'm sure. In this one, a nice reggae vibe with the guitar, dun, 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 the drums, of course, so strong. And of course, a deeply reggae bass line, in my opinion. What a groove. Yeah, one of the best elements of the song were those power, reverbed drums. Amazing, so strong, so hard-hitting, caught my attention through most of the song. And just like in so many of Jean-Michel Jarre's songs, so much great movement in the synth, especially the so much. It was amazing. I loved every synth part I heard. Always unique, so artistic with this band. Then the amazing, surprising Middle Eastern electric guitar melodies arrive. That was amazing, It sounded amazing, but such a cool, unique contrast with the reggae vibes. You would never expect to put those together. Yeah, Edwin's electric guitar solo was amazing. It was bold, it was intriguing, kind of cocky at the same time. I love that. Then one of the best parts of the song right at the end, that humongous synth bass note just filled the space. Wow, what a nice surprise. It was dark, bold, even sumptuous. I was loving it. And then a few more ambient sounds to complete the song. Wow, what a band. Every song so unique, a unique work of art, always surprising and always a complete journey. Absolutely loved it. It's getting an easy Epic Platinum Record Award, yes, for The Domes of Gabal by Ozric Tentacles, 1989. Wow, they were great from the start. All right, now on to the long-awaited Sploosh. Gotta add that exclamation point there. Comes from Strangitude, their third studio album. It was the only single released from the album. It's their most streamed song on Spotify, so it must be great. Let's sploosh right in. There's the splooshin'. Wow, what a ride. What an experience. Definitely not just a song. Wow. No need to come up for air until that 6+ minute gem is over with. Wow, insane. More than I could have expected, but not surprised, judging from, who wrote and released the song. Wow. The sound effects galore. Made sense. It's sploosh. I had a feeling there would be some type of water sounds. Boy, did we get them. We start with some goggy water sloshing. I wrote that down. I don't think goggy is even a word. Pretty bold sound right there up in my head. Didn't expect that type of water sound. Of course, one of the best parts of the song is that insanely good drum and synth beat. Definitely had that 90s electronic feel that I absolutely adore. Again, took me back to my young days when I was in the clubs, listening to music like this. Wow. Of course, I love the plethora of atmospheric and traveling sound effects. Again, so appropriate. I kind of expected that. They built an amazing, dark, wet musical landscape. Again, so unique. The electric guitar, of course, was plentiful here by Ed. A great angsty addition to the groove. Almost became uneasy. The whole thing was just like this dark dream. I loved it. Somehow I felt drenched by this point in the song. The power of music, the power of sounds, the power of the imagination. I can totally see people vibing to this song in a club somewhere, some gothic or industrial club, wherever this would be played way back then. It had to have happened. Gotta mention that really interesting, I guess it was a synth sound. I can't even find the right word for it. Kind of snapping, crackling, so unusual. Somehow what came in my mind was an electronic towel being wringed out to get the water out. It was just kind of I don't know, but it was so unique, added more interesting nature to the song. And then they take us out of the song with more of that goggy sloshiness. Wow, what a unique experience. You guys told me it would be. You were right. Yeah, so due to all the amazing sounds here, the arrangement, the divine groove happening had me going. Of course, the nostalgia factor for me and the ultra outside the box experimentation. This one's getting the Double Epic Platinum Record Award. Absolutely, for Sploosh by Ozric Tentacles, 1991. Wow. And thank you so very much for both incredible journeys today. The amazing Ed Wynn, Joey Hinton, John Egan, Raleigh Wynn, Nick Van Gelder, Paul Hankin, and Merv Pepler. All right, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. If you wish to chat about this one, I would love to know what you think. And if you have any other favorites by Ozric. So you take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember to let peace, calm, and light into your day and night. And I'll see you next time in the past. I think it's still wet in here.